just read this news, which is quite sad, especially because it affects quite a number of Nigerians and Ghanaians who have just been deported by the UK government. We're going to be going into the details of all of this and more in today's video, so please stick around with me while we go straight into it. My name is Tochi. You're welcome to my channel. Please like this video as you're watching. Thank you. To all my returning subscribers, you guys are amazing. You're welcome back to today's video. Thank you for your love, for always sharing and always watching. Thank you very much. And if you're yet to subscribe, kindly do so, because I share amazing content that you would definitely love on this channel. So please consider sticking around with me. Before we continue, I just want to introduce you guys quickly to the sponsors of today's video, LemFi. LemFi is a reliable app that you can use to send money to your loved ones, your family and friends in Africa for free. It allows you to send money to Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, Senegal, Ivory Coast, Cameroon, Benin, Tanzania, Uganda, and Rwanda at zero fees. There are no hidden charges, and they have the best rates you can find in the market. And guess what, guys? LemFi is bringing something exciting for everyone this season. It's a Dirty December giveaway. So you can win a return ticket to Nigeria this Christmas. So not only do you have to send money to Nigeria to your loved ones using LemFi, you can as well visit them in person, and LemFi will take care of all your expenses, okay, your travel expenses. How does that sound? So to qualify, I'm going to leave all the details on the screen. If you participate, then you stand a chance to win. I wish you guys all the best. Please keep sending money with LemFi, and don't forget to use my code Tochi, because you're definitely going to get a 15% cashback on your first transactions above £100, capped at £50. So guys, back to the video. Now, it's no news that since this new government got into office, they've been doing everything possible to cut down migration to the UK, both legal and illegal migration, especially because net migration hits the highest, like the highest it has ever recorded. So both the previous government, who put some measures in place to cut down migration to the UK, and now the new government is also following suit, and they are doing everything, like everything possible from day one that they entered into office. They've told us everything they have done so far to cut down migration, to tighten their border, and you know, all the new rules they have put in place to make sure that migration to the UK is cut down. And guys, now recently they have just deported quite a number of Nigerians and Ghanaians from the UK. I'm going to share my screen with you guys right now so that we would, see everything together. Here it says UK deports record number of Nigerians and Ghanaians in single flights. A record number of Nigerians and Ghanaians were deported to their home countries on one flight, with 44 forcibly removed on Friday, the Home Office has confirmed. And this is a recent news that was just released. These are a number of Nigerians and Ghanaians who have been in the UK for a while. Some have been for as long as 15 years, some 10, some just recently came into the UK, and they come to the UK most times and seek asylum and all of that. And for some of those people, their asylum claim and applications were not granted. It was not successful, thereby leading to them being deported back to their home countries. So if you read further, you will see that the Home Office told The Guardian on Friday evening that the Nigeria and Ghana deportations were part of a major surge in immigration enforcement and returns. And obviously this is something that the government have just been hammering on since they got into office. And seeing that migration level hits the highest, right? UK says that there are so many migrants in the past year, and they're just trying to cut this down and doing everything possible to protect their border, right? So they're trying to reduce both legal migrations. They're trying to reduce legal migration. Of course, we all know all the rules that they have put in place to make sure this happens, and illegal migration as well. And this is one of the ways that they are doing that. As you can see, it says that it's a major surge in immigration and enforcement returns. Now, since Labour came to power in July, 3,600 people have been returned to various countries, including about 200 to Brazil and 46 on a flight to Vietnam and Timor-Leste. There are also regular deportation flights to Albania, Lithuania, and Romania. So deportation flights to Nigeria and Ghana are relatively rare, with just 4 recorded since 2020. According to data released under Freedom of Information rules, the previous flight had far fewer people on board, with 6, 7, 16 and 21 respectively. So there has never been this number before, especially for Nigerians and Ghanaians. But now Friday flight had more than double that number removed on a single flight. And guys, reading this, I really felt bad for these people, or for some of them, because some of them have been in the UK for a very long time. You're going to see it, and just imagine that you've been in the UK, people think, or your family members or whatever, they feel like they know that you have been in the UK for a long time, and even you, right, somehow you just have hope because you've been in the UK for a long time, longer than you expected maybe, you just felt like, okay. But now all of a sudden you're just being deported, right? So it feels really sad, right? So the Guardian spoke to 4 Nigerians while they were held at Brook House Immigration Removal Center near Gatwick before their deportation. One man, due to flight, tried to kill himself. Can you imagine? His cellmate who witnessed the attempt said he was very traumatized by what he had seen, right? So this is what I just said there. It just feels somehow that you've been abroad for a while and all of a sudden you're just, being deported, right? And a second man said, I've been in the UK for 15 years as an asylum seeker. I have no criminal record, but the Home Office has refused my claim. A third man said that he had been groomed into exploitation as a child and had torture scars on his back. I told the Home Office I was a victim of trafficking. They rejected my claim. Now, a fourth said he had desperately searched for a solicitor to challenge his removal directions, but had been unable to find anyone to represent him. Basically, if you're seeking for asylum, you have to really prove beyond reasonable doubt why it should be granted to you, right? You have to prove that, your home country is not conducive for you, or where you're coming from is not safe for you anymore, or something like that. You have to provide and give a good reason or even evidence for your asylum claim. And some of them, had applied on the applications, done everything, and their claim was still refused. Even like this person just said that he told the Home Office that he was a victim of trafficking and all of that his country was not safe for him, he had scars and everything, but his claim was still rejected. You can imagine how these guys felt, being in the UK for a long time and still, having to get deported, It's quite unfortunate though. Now, the chief executive of Migrants' Rights Network, who was in contact with some of the people on the Nigeria-Ghana deportation flights before they left the UK, said, "We are extremely shocked at the cruelty of these deportations, especially with the speed, secrecy and the lack of access to legal support. In the words of one detainee we spoke to before he was put on the flight, the Home Office is playing politics with people's lives. We have not done anything wrong other than cry for help." A Home Office spokesman said, "We have already begun delivering a major surge in immigration enforcement and returns activity to remove people with no right to be in the UK and ensure the rules are respected and enforced, with over 3,600 returned in the first 2 months of the new government." Yes, remember when the Home Office said this, that they were going all out for illegal migrants. They even promised that they're going to go all out and sanction employers that are employing illegal migrants and paying them cash. There are some employers that employ illegal migrants, and because they don't have the right to live and work in the UK, for some of them, they do jobs and they get paid by cash. So the Home Office said they know all about this, and they were going to sanction any employer that was caught, because basically that it is not right to do that. It is illegal to employ people that have no right to live and work in the UK. So if you're caught doing something like that, then you'll be sanctioned, and you even risk your business or your company being closed. So they said all those things, and they said they were all out, like they were going to raid places and do everything possible to make sure that they cut down immigration, right? And that is why he said that they are not remorseful, or it's something that they have planned to do and they are doing it. And since the new government came into office, they have returned 3,600 people, and it was done in the first 2 months that they got into office. So imagine that if they have returned 3,600 people in just 2 months, imagine what will happen throughout their tenure in office. That's to show you that these guys are not smiling. So more than 600 people crossed the channel in small boats on Friday, according to Home Office figures. Can you imagine? So a total of 647 people made the crossing into boats, pushing the total for the year above 28,000. So Friday's crossings came after French authorities announced the death of a baby off the coast of Westland in Pas-de-Calais region on Thursday evening. So it's understandable why the government is doing all these things, because people are still coming in. Yeah, people are still coming in by boats, people are still crossing the channels and coming to the UK, even while they are doing everything to tighten their border. So it simply means that they haven't been totally successful in doing that, right? But the government have promised that he is going to do everything possible to make sure that all of that stops. Both legal migrants, illegal migrants, everybody in the UK, everybody right now is feeling the heat, of them just trying to cause that migration to the UK. So it's understandable why they are doing this. As you can see from the figures, that just this year, more than 28,000 people have crossed the boats, right? So obviously, they don't do something about it, it will not be nice. So that is why the government is just putting their feet to the ground to tackle illegal migration, because I feel like that's the major challenge. Because for legal migration, they can control it to an extent, right? You have to apply for a visa before it's being granted to you, and if they don't want to give the visa, they wouldn't. If they feel like you don't meet the requirements to be granted a visa, or you're not fit to come into the country, they will deny your visa, right? So to an extent, they have control over legal migration, because now look at everything, all the rules and changes they have put in place just to restrict people from coming into the UK, right? So they have control of that. But for illegal migrants, they really, to an extent, they don't, have control of people that come in by boats, people that cross the channel and all of that. And this is why they are kind of tightening their border to make sure that they restrict it. So their major concern right now is illegal migrants. So I guess that's why they are just putting their foot to the ground and just making sure that they do what they have to do. This is really sad, especially for those involved, for the victims, and probably for their families, because it is just unfortunate. But yeah, that is it. Immediately I saw this news, I just said, yeah, you guys know I'm the update queen. I just had to come and share with you, just so that you know what's happening, to keep you guys updated, while we also keep our ears to the ground to hear what next, to know what next the UK government has in store for us, for migrants, because it feels like we just get different news every other day, right? So we don't know what to expect, don't know what the next news will be, especially now that the government is bent on cutting down migration. But hopefully every one of us is covered. So yeah, that is it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye bye.